Who would have thought that Gregory was a cross-dresser? That's right, he got into Eleanor's wardrobe and started wearing her shoes. Ha! Looks like the offset on there is pretty good for that too. If I were to run these wheels, they would fit right now as is. It's really nice that Eleanore and Gregory can share some of their clothing. In case anybody's curious, Eleanor's wheels, which are on here right now, happen to be sourced from a Porsche 928. And the only reason why I know that is because the numbers just happen to be stamped into them. So when I look up the part number, it jives with it coming from a 1978 Porsche 928. So, yep, they will fit on Gregory with no spacers behind them, I might add. It just seems like everything just works. It's like it was intended to be. But these wheels aren't going to stay on here. I just wanted to see what they look like and to answer people's questions. But being that they are so round and Gregory's lines are so straight, I don't think they look particularly good on a bus. Looks better on a Beetle. Tell me what you think. Leave a message down in the comments. Hey, welcome back to DuckmanCycles and VW Garage. I'm your host, the Duckman. We're back today with my Volkswagen bus, which you know I've been making some progress on installing brakes and suspension work. And right now this bus is in the current state that I wanted it to be in when I was bringing it to the car show. Let me go ahead and show you the wheels and the offset and the spacing on there. A lot of people have been asking the question, hey Duckman, aren't those disc brakes going to push your wheels out further? And the answer is yes. But let me show you just how much and exactly what we're going to do to address the situation. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, pluck that dingle belly, check out duckshit.net for all my different social media links. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back right after the intro. What you're looking at right here is one of these 16-inch wheels that I got for this bus. Now this is installed on the stock brake drum. I wanted to show you exactly how far recessed behind the fender that this thing is going to appear to be. And what we're looking at here, now this isn't exactly accurate because the bus does bow a little bit. It's not completely flat. So if I put the level on it, you see how I can kind of rock it. So we're going to do the best we can to get a measurement right off the side wall of that tire. We're looking at exactly 1.5 inches. Wheel and tire combination that I've chosen, along with the Porsche disc brakes on the other side, is going to give us a different result. Now, I don't know if the camera can see it, but I can see it. This wheel is definitely sticking out in front of this fender. It's no longer flat. With a jet flying over me every So anyway, this may not be absolutely accurate because the wheel is on a little bit of a goofy camber because it's dangling. It's up in the air right now. So we're looking at exactly 3/8 of an inch. If we're 1.5 inches on the other side, we're 3/8 of an inch on this side. I have to push the wheel and tire combination about 2 inches to get it to where it needs to be to resemble that of being stock. And that actually is a sweet spot number because on a narrowed beam, 2 inches is about the maximum that you can narrow them. A lot to be said for brand new hardware. My straight edge against the side of the bus as straight as I can get it. Our measurement is 3.5 inches. All right, now let's get our baseline measurement. This is against the stock drum. And we're looking at, well, 4.5. So that answers it. Couple things to consider. We got a 15mm spacer that we put on to be able to get the wheel to clear the caliper that's on here. And we also got a wheel adapter that allows the 5x205 pattern to fit onto a 5x130. The thickness of this adapter looks like it's just a hair over 5/16. 5/16 is just under 8mm. I'm going to call 8mm flat. So 8 plus your 15 makes 23. So 23 is just under 1 inch. 1 inch is 25.4 millimeters. So you add the 1 inch offset that we just gained from the brakes that we put on and the 1 inch that we gained from these parts, and you get almost 2 inches. That's the reason why the wheel has come out 2 inches. Now it all begins to make sense. This wheel probably doesn't change the spacing a whole lot off of what would have been a stock wheel. So I'm very, very happy with what we've got here. This is going to work out just fine. And as I said before, 2 inches is a sweet spot for narrowing a bus beam because you can very, very easily take 2 inches off the inside of it and push everything over. So that's something that we're definitely going to have to do in the very, very near future. But we've got our wheels and our brakes, which means the bus rolls. And we're going to talk about that in just a second as to why I'm working on this instead of the body. Next question comes down to, and actually there's several different questions. Why is Gregory out here on the patio instead of inside the garage tent? And why am I working on wheels instead of working on the holes in the body? And the answer to those both starts out with a little bit of a story. You probably remember that over in the tent garage, it's over here on this side of my yard, there used to be a white Beetle. And Gregory, I had already started tearing apart and broke down before that white Beetle got sold. So the white Beetle lives in the tent that Gregory was going to move into. But because I already had Gregory all pulled apart at that time, when the white Beetle got sold and moved on, I couldn't move him. He didn't have wheels, tires, or a suspension that worked. The wheels that were on him didn't hold air anymore. Their trip home was the last time those tires were going to work. And you know, I work here alone, and I can't be pushing a bus with no wheels and tires that are flat in and out of a garage. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I continued to work on him right where he's at. Now that he's able to roll, and the goal behind getting him to roll was also to bring him to the car show, I wanted the tires in good shape, the wheels in good shape, I wanted the wheel bearings that were greased properly, I wanted everything gone through so that way this bus was ready to roll to get it to the car show. Of course, it didn't happen due to rain. Now that he's got wheels and tires, I'm going to finish some of the body work up underneath that I can get to while he's still up here on the stands. And now that he rolls real nicely, or at least should, I still need to replace the brakes on that side. But after that body work gets done up underneath and I get this front end reattached the way it's supposed to be, Gregory's going in the shed. Enough of him being outside. The cover has been a good thing, but it does weep a little bit. And I have noticed that the new metal has started to form a little bit of rust here around the edge. So that needs to be cleaned up. And it's probably the old rust is contributing to that. If anywhere there is old rust next to new metal, that new metal will usually pick up rust. That seems to be what's going on here. In addition, these window frames that I put on the sides here, these are starting to get little spots of rust, so I need to hit them with phosphoric acid one more time and go over them and get these things welded in once and for all. But again, I wasn't ready to do that. There just wasn't enough time before the car show to make that happen. So what you see is what you get. And I did the best that I could do with what I had, and I think I did a good thing. And you know what they say, you know, you gotta piss with the dick you got, and that's what I've got. You know, it might be rusted and falling apart and have a bunch of holes in it, but that's my dick. Now, as far as that turn signal that you saw me cut with the hole saw on the front, I feel your anger. Yeah. I did that to piss off a bunch of people that just, they're purists, and for me to cut another hole in the front of the bus, I knew it was going to drive them nuts. When I moved the turn signal to that hole, though, I kind of liked it. So I think I'm probably going to do that over on the other side. I'm going to go with it. And if you don't like it, too bad, it's my bus. So if I change my mind, before I fill in the holes that are up on the top here, I have the opportunity to move them back. And what's the matter with just, you know, welding in a little hole? Sure, it's a little more work, but I would have never gotten to see what it looked like had I not done that, and I'm very happy with the results. So we might be rolling with that one. So as always, you guys, if you got a question for me, ask away. I'll try to answer them in the midday Q&A over here on this channel in between project time. I need to get some project stuff done on this. I've got some more sheet metal that came in this week too. Again, some more little pieces in the front end that I didn't even know were there until I started watching some other videos of people tearing these things apart. And it's awfully hard for me to work on this because there's so much of it missing, and not having the experience having worked on these before, that I just didn't know how all the building blocks went together, or even what building blocks I was missing. I had no idea. I was getting ready to fabricate a whole bunch of stuff. But for example, this whole dog leg section in here, there's a panel that goes behind that and a bumper bracket's welded to it. I didn't have any of that. I didn't even know it belonged there. I had no idea. Now I've got parts to replace that, and that was very important, just absolutely critical to getting this front end welded on. I can't start that until I have all the little pieces to put together, so that way I can make sure everything's aligned properly and both of those doors open and close, because the doors are my reference points, and I know if those doors open and close properly, the rest of the body should lay symmetrically and should work out. And if it's off by a little bit, I don't think you're even going to notice. Sometimes people tell me my bus is crooked, but in fact it's not. It's just the angle of the camera. And I get those comments a lot. Let's see if I can demonstrate. Look at how crooked my bus is. It's all in the angle of the dangle. See, look, now it's crooked the other way. Yeah, it has lots to do with the lens type that I have on here and just the angle of the camera and how it's pointed at the bus. The bus is as far as I can tell, pretty symmetrical. It should be fine. Not too worried about it at all. So I hope that answers today's questions. Licky, like it, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to pluck that dingle belly that you get updates every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to check out DuckmanCycles and VW Garage up on the Facebook group page. And don't forget to check out the website, duckshit.net. That way you too can see all of my different social media links. If you don't see me up here on YouTube keeping busy, you might find me up on Instagram. So check me on Instagram and follow. There's always something happening. Thanks for watching again, you guys. We're going to go hop on a DoodleBastard and wrap up this video. Thanks for watching.